Good evening, members of the committee. My name is Shana, and I'm here to represent Reclaim Rhode Island and our strong support for House Bills 6129 and 6062. We also submitted written testimony in support of the lead bills as well as Bill 6197. So today I'm just going to speak about 6062 and 6129. So these two bills would give tenants the right to legal representation in eviction court and enact a tenant bill of rights that would stabilize soaring rents, free tenants from insect infestations in their homes, and prevent cruel and unnecessary evictions. For the last year, we've been organizing with some of the most precarious tenants in the state, all of whom rent from the same monstrously negligent and greedy landlord. More than one tenant from this landlord has described cockroaches crawling on their children's beds at night. So I would like to describe a pattern that I've seen again and again doing this work. So you may not be a renter yourself, but I'm going to use the second person here to describe this pattern. So you move into an apartment in a desperate or near desperate situation. The place isn't great, but you've already been denied further apartments, and your family needs to go somewhere. Maybe things are okay for the first few months, but then things start to break and leak. Your kids start getting sick from the mold in the walls, and you learn that management is simply never going to fix anything. Then the landlord jacks the rent. You moved in at $1,000 a month, and 3 years later, you're spending, the rent is doubled. The apartment's falling apart. You're worried about poisonous lead as the paint peels off the walls. Now the thing has been fixed, but now you can barely afford the rent. Maybe you get a third job and barely keep up with the double rent. Someone gets sick or loses a job, and now you're in eviction court. Without a lawyer, you won't even get a chance to show the court the terrible conditions that your children have been forced to live in. This slick lawyer your landlord has cuts you a terrible deal knowing that you have nowhere else to go. Or after months or years of paying rent and being ignored by management, you withhold rent out of desperate rage. You're just simply fed up with nothing ever happening in your apartment. You're prepared to pay what you owe to the landlord. All you want is for the apartment to be brought up to code. You might then in eviction court pay what you owe. Nothing gets fixed. And then the landlord jacks the rent afterwards to reinforce the unspoken rule in these apartments, which is shut up or get out. Of course, there is no getting out for so many tenants. This apartment was already the last resort, and now you have eviction on the record. So it's no exaggeration to describe the private rental market in Rhode Island, especially its affordable segment, as lawless and abusive. We must guarantee tenants the right to counsel in eviction court, and we must enact a tenant's bill of rights that prevents landlords from price gouging and from evicting people who have been broken by their landlord's price gouging, or worse, evicted in retaliation for demanding safe and dignified homes. Thanks everyone for
Thank you for your testimony.